and this function doesn't do much. It just has one variable inside of it called n, and then outside of the function I also have a variable called n. Now in Python, anything defined outside of a function, any variables defined would be global variables. So this n right here, n is equal to 8, that's defining a global variable. It can be seen throughout this file at any point after it's defined. But the other n, which is defined inside of a function, any variables defined inside of a function are local variables. And those variables can only be seen inside of that function. So if I had an x and a y, then inside of this function we have 3 local variables, n, x, and y. In this case though, I wanted to show the fact that when we run this, even though there's a local and a global variable and they're both having the same name, we're looking at 2 different spots in memory. One is the global version, and we can see that right here, and as soon as we define inside of a function a variable that has the same name, we're kind of overriding that name inside of that function. Anytime where we talk about n, we mean that local version, the one that we just defined inside the function. So we can change that though. If we want the function to be talking about the n that was already defined globally, we can say global, and actually I will leave in that change to that variable, and I'll also add a line that says global n, saying that when I'm talking about n in this function, I mean the globally defined n. So any changes that I make should affect n inside of the function and outside of the function. So if we run this, it's going to say that n is changed to 5 inside of the function, but we're talking about the global n. So outside of that function, when we look at what n is, it is also set to 5.